Okay, man, so obviously we're coming back from injury. Can you talk about the injury a little bit? Tell me, what exactly happened?
Man, that injury was probably the roughest one of my career so far, or my life so far. It was a very, very weird scenario. I've never really had like a slow speed crash be a very bad injury. I've had slow speed crashes lead to nagging injuries or little stuff, but I literally crashed on a 10-foot double onto a hay bale, and I just stuck my leg out weird, and it compound fractured my tib fib. So,
for those that don't know, what's a compound fracture?
Where the bone comes out of the skin. So there was.
So you open your boot, you're bleeding.
Yeah, it was one of those things where I felt something bad happen, and maybe my first instinct wasn't my bone sticking out of my leg, but it definitely wasn't a great feeling. And so I immediately tried to take my boot off because I figured if I did do something wrong, get this boot off now before the swelling happens and a shock goes away. So that way, my first instinct was just rip my boot off. So I ripped it off, and immediately I seen my bone sticking through my sock, and there was blood gushing everywhere. So yeah, I just signaled to the medic. It was a pretty painful 6-hour process until I got into surgery, but I got into surgery that same day in Texas, and yeah, just been on the mend since. But it was about 3 months off the bike. I've been back at MTF for about 3 weeks. I did 2 weeks of outdoors, and then this is my first week of Supercross, just finishing it up. So I'm definitely in a better place than I even really could have imagined, because it was a tough first month. They say that there's about 3 of the most painful injuries, and it's tib, fib, femur, and hip, I think. So I'm glad this injury is in a good spot now. It definitely doesn't look too pretty. I got a pretty gnarly lump right there from my shin bone. It kind of got broken in 3 different pieces, so it's almost like it has a little bit of a beak right there. This is probably the only area that bothers me when I ride. This and this screw sticks out a little bit further. You can see it sometimes bleeds a little bit. Other than that, I'm very happy with how it feels in the boot. Like, I was really nervous with that being on the inside of my leg and you grip the bike, but I've been just kind of taping it up, putting some gauze pads over it, and then sticking it in the Garnet boot, and I really haven't had too many issues. It seems like my first session on the track is the worst of the day, and then I'll take the boot off, take some Tylenol, kick my leg up in between sessions, and then the second, third, fourth session of the day, it seems like it goes away a lot. So I just have to get warmed up, it seems like.
Yep, 100%. Can you hike the shorts up just a little bit so we can see the quads?
Like, pretty much am known for not having a very big calf muscle in general, but quads are something that I've been able to build pretty easy, and my quad has pretty much completely disappeared. But it'll come back. I even got this screw right here that sometimes in my knee brace, it just sticks out pretty far. So, but yeah, I definitely need to get that quad back, because Supercross, it's very, very important to have a lot of good leg strength. So, work to get that back.
So today we're focusing mostly on all single leg strength. When you're coming back from a tib fib compound fracture, his one side is super weak. The activation is not great for his calf, especially, and for his quad. The quad is even, like, you can see a noticeable size difference. So it takes shockingly little to maintain muscle and to maintain strength. It takes 5 orders of magnitude less than it does to build strength. So we're really trying to isolate that leg and catch it back up to speed. So we'll do, a lot of stuff focusing on the quad, focusing on the calf. We'll do some balance stuff just to kind of get the coordination back. And we'll see. It's going to be a little bit of a dig for him, but day by day it'll get stronger. We'll get better. Okay. And then we're kind of just like opening our toes up. That's what we call it no money, because you're like, I got no money. All right, so you're open, pivot at the heels. So kind of the first motion I do is I lift my toes off the ground. And then I'm just pivoting at my heels. 12 to 15. This band might be a little much at first. Let's start with this one.
I'm in the other, so it's like, I initially want to pull this way first, and then it wants to bring this one in, and it's like.
That's fine, as long as you reach the same endpoint, as long as they look the same at the end.
Okay.
That's all I care about.
How many?
Go 15.
might sound crazy saying it, but it's probably 70 to 75%. Like, I'm nowhere near 100%, and when I ride, I can somehow use my talent and skill to almost just blind people to the fact that it's even a problem. Like, I can, whether it's
do what you have to do.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it's I got to lean in this leg over here a little bit more, or just be a little bit more over the front of the bike. I mean, that's probably why I'm really sore in weird places, like strictly the left side of my back. I'm probably just compensating a lot, but it's just what I have to do right now.
It's amazing how much of that for you is subconscious too. Like you're not even thinking about compensating when you just do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I need to make it through this big ass set of whoops.
Yeah.
By any means necessary.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, I think, were as worried or even more worried than me when I was hurt because, you know, I couldn't walk for so long, and when I did walk, it was terrible. And I tried to tell people, like, well, take it with a grain of salt because I've pretty much been able to ride a dirt bike better than I've been able to walk my whole life. Like, just so if I can walk and limp to the dirt bike, I could probably ride it decently.
That's right. All right, set 2. Looking for 15. Really try not to let that ankle just flop back. There you go, better. Nice. One set done. 2 sets to
It's
go.
pretty gnarly on the, it's like almost like the front of my shin bone.
Yeah. For me, like it's the outside of my calf.
Yeah. I got
It turns into a burner.
At one point, my whole leg was numb on that side, and it seems like the more I work it, the more it's coming back. Like that muscle started to really burn at the end, and I still pretty numb to the touch, but I can feel it inside kind of working. It's hard to get them to move at the same pace just because there's such different strength.
Yeah, that left one just wants to run, and the first one here, right one just trying to crawl. I'll show you. So whichever foot is on the ball, I want you to hold the weight on the opposite side. And then this one, the Bosu ball works twofold because that instability, all those small muscles that are in charge of stabilizing, you're kind of firing. But then we're also going to work some RDL. So I've got right foot down, holding on to the weight with my left foot, and then I'm going to hinge and focus on kicking that back foot super high. It's nice and controlled back up. So right now I feel this a lot in my ankle, my calf, my hamstring. Okay, nice, slow, controlled. The weight doesn't feel heavy at all. It's just more so like challenging your balance a little bit more. Ready? Ball, like your butt's gonna be burning, your calves will be burning. Yeah. So let's go down to like 5 or 6, and let's try not to touch. Okay. But your pacing is good. It's just, you know, when you get into trouble is when you like move too fast all of a sudden, and then you can't keep up with it. So you gotta go the same pace, top to bottom. But that was good. Slow about all else. That's like the most important part of this drill.
Single leg, looking for a really deep range of motion, and let's get our foot pretty high up on a plate if we can.
They're on there.
Yep. And so for single leg, you can either drop that foot in between, like, yeah, you can lift them up.
Like like that.
Yep, and then just watch your knee because it comes down pretty far.
I'll just put it up here. No.
Yeah, try to straighten that leg out. Your left leg, like straighten that out.
Oh,
there you go. All right, nice and deep. Good.
What are you looking for?
12 to 15. How's the weight feel?
It's pretty heavy, but just my knee. It's sore.
So when you're doing this exercise, what are you feeling like? What's burning? What feels tired? Is it the quads, the hamstring, glute?
So I have a pretty big scar on my knee, and I don't know if the scar is like stuck to the muscle or something, but I almost have like a really gnarly numb sensation through my knee, and it's my knee is obviously really tiny right now. It has no muscle, so I feel it pretty much all around my knee that is working a lot. This is all fused with a rod, so I don't really feel too much there, but it just seems like my knee and my quad are really having to grind on that one. Not so much I'm not really feeling it in my calf or anything.
Dude, that scar looks super good. You did so much work with. Who'd you do work with?
Dr. G. Yeah, we hit with the acoustic sound wave so much.
Yeah, I mean, for a scar like that, I mean,
Yeah.
that's crazy. It looks super good.
That took a lot of painful work for sure, because it was as soon as I got the staples out and stitches out, I was constantly working on these scars, trying to soften them up and make it so it's not so painful in my boot. It was very important to me to try and go through that process and do it the right way. I've had scars in the past where I've done nothing to them, and then I've had scars in the past like my wrist that I really grinded on acoustic and red light and stuff, and it makes a world of difference.
Yep. It's good depth. I said depth is like the minimum. Yeah, there you go. Should really feel that ankle flexion too. You're welcome. Good. Maybe try to put your toe a little more on the bench instead of kind of hanging off. There you go.
See it shaking?
Yep. There you go. All right, let's get as much extension as possible. That's better. There we go.
Getting like the full extension, give yourself just a little bit of help. And then at the top, you really got to focus on just like squeezing that calf as hard as you possibly can. Good. I can see your calves firing, even if you can't feel it. I think that's what you're doing here. So you can pull yourself up and then kind of let go of the pressure and just ease your heel back down to the ground. Full extension. All right, now we can start building that mind-muscle connection a little bit better. There you go, the best one. Focus on that first 3 inches on the way down. You seem like you drop 3 inches and then it slows down. Try to control the whole way.
That was a good workout. It's definitely different for me to isolate just one muscle group, and especially something it's my absolute weakest point on my body right now. So it's good to work on your weaknesses, and today was dedicated just to that. And so I think I'm at a point right now where I definitely needed something like that. Just I've been riding all week, and it's been the first week on Supercross. I rode 3 days in a row, so I was working my entire body all week riding. So to come in here and try and play a little bit of catch up, so I'm not burning out weird muscles like when I rode this week. My whole left side of my back is just like killing me, and I understand maybe my back might be sore from riding, but it's weird that my entire left side it's killing me. My right side doesn't hurt. So I'm obviously either standing on my left leg just way harder than my right leg. So hopefully this plays a little bit of a part in fixing that. And I definitely don't want it to maybe hurt my form when I'm riding, or maybe drop my right elbow or something. I don't want any weird habits to develop. So it was good. Got this workout knocked out, and tomorrow I'll probably do a bike ride or something just to strengthen both legs. But yeah, today was really good to just work on this, and yeah.